So this gravitation, if it comes to the gravitation, it is a kind of force which we already studied, like class 8, you might be studied types of forces, contact forces and non-contact forces. So under the non-contact forces, the first example you might be studied is called as gravitational force. Have you remembered, everybody? Just simply people might be studied the definition. What is gravitational force? The force which will attract the bodies always towards to it. And example you can take even the force present between the sun and the earth, like that you might be studied. Is it yes, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The force of attraction. So let us see here. What do you mean by this gravitation or gravity or whatever the words you might be heard? It is all similar words, same actually. Now, what is the main key ideas of this chapter of class 9th? If we have to remember, you must understand the fact that every body in this universe is attracted by the force of some kind of force. That force only we used to call as universal gravitational force. That is what you will learn from this chapter at the beginning. So everybody, now for example, one of our friend is in Kumbakonam and I am here. Of course, in between us also some kind of force is acting between us. That is also, that force is only we used to say gravitational force. In between you and the moon, in between you and the sun, any two bodies if you take in the universe, you'll be having attracted, both are attracted by a force called as, what is the force called as, everybody? Universal gravitational force. Understand? So we are going to, till now we are going to study like 8th class and all, everything will goes in a theoretical manner. Now we people will study, we will deduce an expression of universal gravitational force. Means we are going to derive the formula for that, and we are going to calculate the manual value. So what is the force acting between any two bodies? We can calculate with their given data like mass and distance between them, etc. And also we are going to explain mass and weight. What is the difference? What we studied till now, mass and weight are same. Even I used to say till in 8th class, mass and weight is same, but 9th class it will make differs. So you explain what is the mass and weight difference and the terms related like center of mass, center of gravity, and all the other related terms we'll discuss here. So this is all the main things which we people will study in this chapter. Along with that, we people will study force and pressure again will come in this chapter. That is what related to thrust, buoyancy, that all the different forces. Now, let us go with the introduction of this gravitation chapter. Understand very carefully so that it will be very easy for us in the further. Now, if you'll notice it, the study of the earth and the universe is actually very, very fascinated subject, and as well as it is many scientists, they are working since from ages on this planets and as well as earth. You can see from even ancient time before Christ, BC, or not mine, even our Aryabhatta, a lot of Indian astronomers are there who has been described about the universe, about the solar planets and as well solar system, everything. So the knowledge of the universe is like, we can say like, this is unending. Lot of things, even keep on digging every day, you can see it will be keep on finding the things. That is what we can say like galaxies, solar system, motion of the planets, and celestial bodies in the solar system, everything, how they will be puzzled many in the past, like how they are describing this solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Lot of things is learning from the nature. We are learning a lot of science from the nature every day. Now, if we take here, all of you observe, everybody, we people are used to see the sky, everybody used to see the notice all the things and all, but only some thoughts of certain people only clubbed with the efforts, and they will make us to understand the nature. That is what the theories and the concepts of real concepts which is behind the phenomena, natural phenomena which are present in our surroundings, and they are making us to feel better to understand this universe. That is why they are introducing this chapter here is to make you curious about the universe, about the planet's motion, and about the celestial objects as well as terrestrial objects, whatever it is. What do you mean by celestial bodies? Anybody can tell me? What do you mean by celestial bodies? Let me know. Who will speak?
Planets, sir.
Yes. Celestial bodies. Anyone, please? Learn the spelling. Celestial. Celestial bodies. What do you mean by celestial bodies? Anyone?
So like sun, like
Yes.
which
Celestial
is in
bodies.
the universe.
All of you remember, objects which are present out of atmosphere is called as celestial bodies. And if you take any kind of object, if it is present inside the atmosphere, terrestrial objects are terrestrial bodies. That is what you have to remember. So, whatever you can see, all this universe from even any kind of century, can go from first century and even before, even if you'll take Greek, if you'll take Latin, if you'll take American, if you'll take Indian philosophies, everywhere, everything, all the things regarding planets' motion and their life and their formation, we're having different things, and how these planets are regarding motion of the planets and the sun. A lot of theories that have been kept even for us. Now you can see here the force that keeps this all these celestial bodies. If you take solar system, so around the sun, how many celestial bodies are there, including Earth as we are living? Earth is also a celestial body for the sun. Is it yes or no? Yes, please.
Yes,
Earth is a celestial object for the sun. Is it right or wrong? Will you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, all the force that keeps these celestial bodies intact in the universe, is only called gravitational force, or we can say force of gravitation. Are you understand, everybody? So the force of gravitation means the force which keeps this all the celestial bodies intact. What do you mean by intact, Mr. Hari? Yes, Mr. Kaushik, anyone? Intact means keeping in a particular positions, not to run away or going continuously in a motion. They are making the bodies to move in a particular path. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes, please.
yes, sir.
That is what means, like we can say not damaged or impaired in any way, is called as intact. Please learn that. Intact. So whatever it is, the Earth is having a particular space, particular place in the universe. The solar system is having particular place. Like this, every objects in the universe, they are having a particular position. They are not disturbed by some other thing. They are intacted in this universe with only one kind of force. What is that force called as, everybody? Which is acting between any two bodies in this universe. That force only, what ways to call? Gravitational force, or we can say force of gravitation. Are you clear, everyone? So now, if you notice it very carefully, due to this force only, as it is, everything is happening inside the universe and outside the universe, as this force is holding these objects in a particular position. So, if you notice it very carefully, if you go to the class 8, you are studying about the planets, know about the universe. you might be studied two kinds of theories. Have you remembered geocentric theory and heliocentric theory? Do you remember, everybody? Yes, Mr. Okay, Johan. Have you remembered that geocentric and heliocentric 8th class? Yes, Mr. Harish.
Yes, sir.
Geocentric and heliocentric. Mitakshri, I only taught you people, most of you. Yes,
sir.
yeah. So, as you all people know, we people used to believe before, we used to believe our Earth is the center of the solar system and all the planets and as well as including the sun used to revolve around the Earth. So that theory only we used to called as, what theory we used to called as, everybody? Geocentric. Understand? So geocentric theory, geo, what do you mean by geo? Means Earth. So Earth is in the center and all the sun and the planets are revolving around the Earth. So that theory is named as geocentric, which is accepted many centuries till 16th century of AD. We used to believe a sun is also revolving around the Earth, and who is the center of the solar system? Yes, please.
Earth, sir.
Earth. Understand? The planets in the solar system and the sun revolve around the Earth in a concentric circular orbits with the Earth as Earth is the center. So that is what we people used to believe. Earth as a center. Earth as a center. So Earth will be in middle. Then who will be in surroundings? All the planets and all the sun, including the sun, everything, they used to revolve in a concentric circles. Concentric circles. So that is what we used to call as geocentric theory. So till 16th century of AD, AD means what? Social studies. Anybody?
Anno Domini, sir.
Anno Domini. Understand? Till 16th century, we people used to believe Earth is only the center of this solar system. But a scientist name called as Mr. Copernicus. Can anybody tell me the spelling? Copernicus. Copernicus in 16th century AD. According to the theory proposed by Mr. Copernicus, he proposed that Earth is not the center. Earth, understand, it is not the Earth, but Sun, which is the center of the universe, and all other planets, including the Earth, revolve around the Sun. In a which orbits? In a circular orbits. So he said, he proposed that Sun is at the middle and Earth, including the Earth and other planets, every planet is revolving around the Earth, Sun. And he proposed that since Sun is the center, so the Helios refers to the Sun in the Greek letter. Greek Helios means what? Greek letter Sun means Helios. So that is why he suggested his theory name. What is the theory name called as? Heliocentric theory. Are you understand, everybody? So helio refers Sun in the Greek. So he called his theory as heliocentric theory. Please, all of you learn. Helios means Sun. Okay, everyone. So we used to call as heliocentric theory. So why I am saying you this? This is what about universe, history of universe. You must know. Arun Kailash, have you understand, Mr. Akilan? So geocentric means Earth is the center, and heliocentric means who is the center? Sun is the center. Okay. So that is what. So it is very, very quest to understand the universe continued, and many observations were made regarding planetary motion, and a lot of suggestions and lot of theories proposed by Mr. Tycho Brahe. He's a scientist who has been made hundreds of quests to make understand the universe, but it is still lot of failures, a lot of complications. And his assistant, Mr. Johannes Kepler, he is the assistant of Tycho Brahe. He is the one who has been proposed the Kepler's laws, which we are going to study mainly in the class 9th. That is what Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Understanding? Very, very important concept, which will make us to understand the universe and the motion of the planets easily. That is what proposed by assistant of Tycho Brahe. That is what his name is, Johannes Kepler, who analyzed the observations of his master and proposed 3 laws for planetary motion. These laws only we used to called as, what is that laws called as, everybody? Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Are you understand, Amma? Everyone? So actually he is not that. He has been observed his like we can say guru's proposals, and he made these laws, and that laws only, the laws which we are studying till today, which is proposed by Mr. Kepler's, and Kepler's laws make us to understand the universe in an advanced manner, in such a way how the universe will like all the planets and all the things will rotate or revolve around the sun, which will help us to understand very easily. So this is what is Kepler's, how a man came into the scene to propose the laws which is describing the motion of a planet. Now, with the help of these Kepler's, actually your book, they used to give the Newton's law of gravitation first. Understand? But I don't want to universal law of gravitation. But of course, I don't want to teach that first, because after Kepler only, with the help of Kepler, the laws which is proposed by the Kepler, with his efforts only, Mr. Newton has derived a mathematical expression for law of gravitation. That is what, as I said, universal law of gravitation. That is why we'll study the universal law of gravitation after the Kepler's 3 laws. Is it okay, everyone? Mr. Harish, have you understand, Mr. Harish?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what it is, how that background or history of gravitation has begins. Hundreds of scientists, hundreds of philosophers, hundreds of ancient people suggested different things for different ways regarding planets and all, but it has been mathematically proved by Mr. Sir Isaac Newton. That is what we can say, Newton's law of gravitation, or we can say universal law of gravitation. But before him, he has been analyzed from the Kepler's. Kepler has been analyzed from a scientist, his guru. What is his name called as? Yes, please.
John.
Who is Kepler's head of guru of Kepler's? Tycho Brahe. Tycho, Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe. He's the one who has been proposed hundreds of theories. With his theories, observations only, Kepler's proposed the laws. So please, all of you keep heading. Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Mitakshri, are you understanding, Mitakshri? Starting, it will be theoretical only. It will be boring little, but later it will go very interesting when we are studying the derivations and the conceptual basis and all. So first thing, Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Shall we start now? Yes, everybody. So totally, Kepler proposed totally 3 laws to describe the motion of a planet. So that is what the first law is called as law of orbits. What do you call? Yes, please. Kepler's
Law of orbits.
law of orbits. All of you write it. Law of orbits. First law, also called as law of orbits. I will give the notes also. First understand. Law of orbits. So now, what is this law of orbits? What a Kepler's proposed, and is it true or not? That is what we'll discuss now. So remember, Kepler said that all the planets move around the whom? Earth or Sun? Earth or Sun, guys? Yes, please. Earth or Sun? That is what my question. What is the proof, man? Earth or Sun? How the planets are revolving? Around the Earth or around the Sun?
Around the sun, sir.
Around the Sun. But as we know that, as I told you, all the Keplers, Tycho Brahe, and before everybody, they considered that Earth, everything, all the things are revolving in a circular objects or elliptical path. Anybody? They consider in a circular motion. Understand or not? But Kepler is the one who has been proposed that planets are not revolving around the sun in a circular path or circular orbit. They are revolving around the sun in a which path? In a which path? Elliptical path, an ellipse, because of some days the sun is, you can see the daytime is less, some days daytime is more. With this all observations, by the time itself they knows that they have been found that days are not same regularly, timing is not same, and sunlight is not same, sun is not in the same position, earth is also not in the same position. With this all the observations, they have been found that the shape of the orbit of the planets revolve around the sun was originally considered to be circular, but Kepler analysis of planetary motion revolved that he only revealed the secret behind that the orbit of the planet was not circular, but was what shape it is? Anybody? What shape it is? Elliptical. And that is revealed by Mr. Kepler only. For the first time, he is the only one who observed and proved that the paths or orbits taken by the planets around the sun is not the circular. They are in what shape, guys? Please note it down. What is the shape? Elliptical shape. Are you understand, everybody? So this has been revealed. The secret was revealed by Mr. Kepler only. So ellipse is a plane figure similar to an like elongated circle. That is what you can draw. So he has been proved. That is the first thing. Before going to study the Kepler's law of planetary motion, you should understand. Till now we know that the planets are revolving around the sun in a circular path. But originally they are revolving around in which path, guys?
Elliptical
path. Understand? So now I will show you how it will be the elliptical path. You might be all knows. So if we'll take, this is what we used to call as circle. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes, please. All of you? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I will elongate the circle in an extended manner, like this, you can see I am stretching the same circle. This is what? Circle. I am stretching, I am elongated this circle. Then it will form a path called as, what is that path? This one. This is only called as elliptical path. I understand, everybody? So this is what the Kepler has been proved, revealed, and he said that it has two axes mutually perpendicular to each other. What do you mean by perpendicular? Mr. Arun Kailash, Akilan, Divya, anybody try to answer to my questions. Harish Jairas, what do you mean by perpendicular? Yes, please. What do you mean by perpendicular? I want to answer.
Lines falling on a line at accurately 90 degrees. The
Cross.
angle of
Understanding. Yes. And he has been said that these elliptical shape having two axes, that is what a perpendicular lines we used to called as axis. Understand? So it has how many axes totally? How many axes? Two axes it has. That is what each are mutually perpendicular to each other. And he proved that axes are like this. That is what I will draw. See that to make you very comfortable and understanding, I am trying to draw and I am trying to make. So hope you all people can draw that. Understand? So he has drawn it. He imagined that two perpendicular lines are there, which is perpendicular lines which are passing. You can see this is what one line and perpendicular. What do you mean by perpendicular? Anybody? Perpendicular means what? Same direction or opposite direction? And he has been made opposite like this. This is what we used to call as perpendicular axis. Are you clear, everybody? Mr. Harish, Mitakshri, very important
Yes,
for
sir.
your future, Mitakshri, this chapter. That is what I am stressing very slowly and very clearly I am going. You will never get this much time to study the basics. So that is what. So he made two perpendicular lines. He said that two perpendicular axes are present. So these perpendicular axes, you can see, one is longer axis and another one is shorter axis. Are you able to see the longer axis and shorter axis? Yes, please. Yes. Now, this longer axis is only called major axis. Longer axis, what we used to call? Longer axis, what we used to call? Major axis. He has been called major axis, and shorter axis he is to called as what we used to call? Minor axis. So totally how many axes we have? Yes,
Two axes.
two axes. And he has been said that the point of intersection of these two axes is only called as center of the ellipse. The center, midpoint, wherever these both axes are intersecting, that point we is to called as what? Please respond. Center of ellipse. All of you note it down. Now, there are two fixed points on the major axis of the ellipse. That is what we is to called as foci. How many points? How many points, guys? 2 points are fixed on the major axis. That is what he has been said that is what F1 and F2. What we used to call? F1 and F2. So that is only called as this is focus 1 and this is focus 2. What is the plural form of focus? Foci. Understand, everybody? So the plural form of focus is foci. Is it okay, guys? Have you understand,
Yes,
everybody? So this is the things he said. What he said, first of all, first point, everybody, this is not the law. Law is very simple, but I am saying you, remember, more than 2 minutes, nobody will spend on Kepler's first law. Okay, because they will finish by saying the definition itself. But you must know that is what we are spending, as we are concerned on basics more. So we are concentrating. So he has been said, first of all, the orbit shape is not the circle. It is what shape? Elliptical shape. And elliptical shape having two axes, perpendicular axis. One is minor axis. Another one is what axis? Major axis.
Major axis.
That what he said, Mr. Gokul. There are two fixed points on the major axis. Two fixed points on the major axis of the ellipse. They are only called as, what is that called as? Foci, F1 and F2. Okay. Now, what is Kepler's first law means? Remember, according to the Kepler's first law of planetary motion, all the planets revolve around the sun in a different elliptical orbits. Is it right or wrong? Yes, please. Maybe you can take, this is the elliptical path for one planet, another planet, another path, another planet, another path. Is it right or wrong, Mitakshri, Divya? Yes, please. Is it
Yes,
all the
sir.
planets are moving in the same path? Is it all the planets are moving in the same elliptical orbit or different elliptical orbits? That is what my question.
Different orbits,
Different.
sir.
So here's what is Kepler's first law? Law of orbits means, remember, all the planets, according to the Kepler's first law of planetary motion, all the planets revolve around the sun in different elliptical orbits, and sun is located at one of the foci of the orbit. That is only known as law of orbits, or we can say Kepler's first law of planetary motion. Understand, everyone? So a sun is present at any one of the foci. Maybe the sun is present at where? Maybe the sun is present at where, guys? F1. Are you understand? And planet is present in the orbit. This is the planet. And sun is present at where? Maybe at F1 or maybe at where?